I had a friend of mine's face blown off in New York City in an apartment because he's going into the apartment. They're trying to search the apartment. And in the closet, the guy's sitting there with a 357 Magnum. And all of a sudden, when the closet door opens up, boom, hits the guy in the face and blows his face off. Fortunately, he lived and his face was reconstructed. But you never know what you're going to face. And you have to be prepared to deal with the emergency. And DEA does some pretty good training. And fortunately, over the years, we haven't lost that many considering. But many of these cases, I don't want to be a Monday morning quarterback, but many of these cases involve that the agent did one thing wrong they shouldn't have done. So, like, I'll give you a good example. My father was the head of the task force. He used to sign every single operational plan because he cared so much about the safety and security of his people. And he was a micromanager in that way, but everyone knew the chief cared about the guys, right? And he was a pain in the ass. Let me make sure that's clear. But in this one case, they had an undercover deal going down, and there was a New York State trooper, Joey Aversa, who now is dead, passed away many, many years ago. So it was an undercover deal. Long story short, my father signed an operational plan. He did not want undercover agents in the building. That's like a no-no in New York. You don't send your people in the building because you can't control it at all. So long story short, when they were on the street, things changed. And the supervisor on the street made a decision to let him go in. All of a sudden, shit hit the fan. The guy gets shot and he dies. So it's things like that. You don't want to be critical because, you got to make these decisions that their intent is to get the bad guys. So you want to applaud them. But it's these split-second decisions that can mean life and death. As you know, you're a street cop. That happens all the time in this country. And that's why I get pissed off when the public doesn't understand how difficult it is when a cop has to make that decision, shoot or no shoot. And so, anyway, yeah, the DEA does pretty well. And we have a good track record, fortunately. But in many cases, it's because we are lucky. Let me make sure that's clear.
Yeah.
If the bad guys want to kill you, they're going to kill you.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I love your take on the last second decisions, because I don't know any cop out there that hasn't had that happen to them, where they know policy procedures, they know their training, and yet there's something in your gut that says, I need to ignore that and I need to go this way. And a lot of times it works out for us.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
mean,
said.
look, I never forget. I was in a van. We got the hit signal. The guy was going to sell like 6 kilograms of cocaine to the undercover agent. As we're approaching the van, he goes around like this. He's got a gun in the small of his back, and he's reaching for the gun to shoot. And it was a split-second decision. We could have killed him, but we didn't shoot. We grabbed him instead, and we slammed him down on the ground. We got the weapon. Nobody was hurt, but somebody could have shot, and it would have been
Yeah.
justified. But, you never know. It goes so quick.
Yep. And there's quite a few videos where we train officers. We'll show them the where cops get killed is we're typically behind on the draw. So what we end up doing is we see them drawing and we make that fatal decision that we are also going to start drawing. Well, you're already behind the curve. Sometimes the best thing you can do is exactly what you guys did, is get the hell in and grab them and try to disrupt their OODA loop as far as that
So,
draw
Eric,
goes.
let me make something really clear because I might not have been clear about this, and I want to make it clear. The DEA is not dressed in a uniform. The DEA has plenty of time to prepare. They have plenty of resources when they go out on these operations. They have plenty of gear. They have manpower, like I said, and they are catching the bad guys with the element of surprise, okay? So we have an advantage in most of these cases. Where if you're a uniformed cop in America, every single day you leave your house and you go to work, you get that 911 call. The cops are going in there, they're going into dangerous territory. And you notice this is what you do for a living. I'm just telling you, I really appreciate it, so I want to cover it. When a cop shows up, you don't know what's behind the door. You don't even know who's there. You don't even know, like, yeah, it's a domestic dispute, and you figure you go there, whatever. I know things have changed now. We're a little bit smarter now on these things. Now the guy's got a shotgun behind the door. He just wants to kill the cop that shows up. And the cops have the dangerous job. Agents, yes, it's risky. Don't get me wrong. things can go bad, but it's the day-to-day law enforcement in uniform every day that have these dangerous jobs. I mean, look, they're being executed in police cars around America for
Yeah.
no reason. So, like, I don't want to over like hype the danger of a DEA agent. It's pretty much common sense that if you're dealing with narcotics, drugs, that it's a dangerous job.
Yeah.
But it's not like the movies. It's not Narcos, right? Where every day you go out and some Mexican cartel guy is following you
Yeah.
to shoot you in the head. That's not realistic.
Yeah. All right. Let's shift gears, sir. I want to get into what you're up to today because it sounds like you had a pretty damn impressive career, that at least the first 15 years until you moved to Washington.
Well, what happened was real quick. I'll do this quick. When I left
Okay.
down at Special Operations as a GS-15, I got promoted, became a ASAC, Assistant Special Agent in Charge.
That's as high as you can get, right?
No, I'll tell you what happened. So I get back to
Okay.
New York City. I become a field ASAC. That's like the number 2 in command, right?